Sure. Practice makes perfect.
We got to have bloopers, right?
Oh, we gotta have bloopers.
I think that's automatic, right?
Right, it's gonna come.
Hello, and welcome to Local Community Connections. Julia and I are thrilled to have you come and be with us on our journey. We are
Yes.
very excited to meet with and shine a spotlight on some local folks that are really doing some great work out in our community. And you know what? I think that Julie just has such a great heart for this work. And I think it's going to show in the people that she invites on. I think she's vetting everybody. Like
Yep.
these
If
are
they're not nice
quality.
people, we don't want them.
Right, yeah. They have to be. And also, like, you have to know them kind of personally, right?
Yes.
For you to even invite them.
Yep, I want to know they're good, solid people. They've been in the industry for a while. They really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I look at it being a reflection of my reputation as well and yours.
Yeah,
So nice, knowledgeable, and hey, if they got community connections, that's what we want.
yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it'll be a nice journey. Please come with us. And if you have any comments, if you have any feedback, if there's someone you'd like us to feature, and
Yep, an
we can
industry you'd like us
interview
to
them.
do a highlight,
Right.
absolutely. Yep.
Right. Please let us know. We're just glad to shine a spotlight on people who are doing good, but also, really good at their craft and that they enjoy it, because you can tell when you meet someone who really enjoys what they do, like John. Welcome, John. This is
Thank you.
John Puino from Asbury. I think it's going to be roofing and solar.
You got it.
Okay, great. And you're in downtown Rochester. So can you explain why a homeowner would choose metal over like the traditional shingles in Michigan?
Sure. Metal roof obviously lasts longer. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different options. There's standing seam, there's corrugated metal, and then there's something that we're going to talk about a little bit more detail today, which is an aluminum shingle.
Wow.
Very innovative, cutting edge, patented technology, and there's
Very cool.
a ton of amazing benefits to that aluminum shingle. But overall, metal is just a more durable, longer lasting product than traditional asphalt shingles. Of course, it does cost more, so that's to be expected. But it's something to consider, especially for people who are planning to stay in their home for long term, or maybe it's a legacy home for the family. They know some people are investing for their children. In those situations, I would say metal is the way to go.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Julie, you want to ask the next question?
Well, like with the market nowadays, I know a lot more people are staying in their homes because they just need to be, and they're making those upgrades to them. So that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. It makes an
right.
awful lot of sense. So I know that we have really tough winters here. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
just brutally cold with a lot
This
of
last
wind.
one.
Yep. And sometimes we do get a whole bunch of snow. So how does a metal roof change, like the timeline? What makes it Michigan tough? Why would we want that in Michigan?
So there are benefits. There's pros and cons to everything, right?
Yeah.
So there's benefits to a metal roof when it comes to wintertime, and there's some cons as well. So we can start with the negative. If you think about metal, it's a lot smoother than shingles. And
So all the
what
snow just comes
happens-
flying down on
all
you?
that snow can
I've
just
heard
come
about that.
flying down. It can be very dangerous, right? So fortunately, we know about that, and roofs have to be designed with that in mind. So it's just being careful about where those channels, because if you're talking about corrugated or standing seam, there's a channel. It's a long channel. It might be 20 feet, it might be 30, it might be 40 in some larger projects. But imagine all of that snow. It's 2 feet wide, it's 20 feet long. Imagine all that snow and ice come pouring down on someone's head. Not a good deal. So we make sure that doesn't happen. We put snow bars in, and we design, you make sure that there's not a straight run going over a door, things like that. So there's a way to do that. The aluminum shingle is beautiful because it's actually cut up in such a way that that snow does not come down like it would on a smooth surface, a long smooth surface like on a metal,
Okay.
traditional metal standing seam or corrugated. So we'll show that in a little bit, and you can see what that looks like. But actually, I can show it right now.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want to show it right
absolutely.
now,
Why
that'd be
not?
This
great.
is what an aluminum shingle looks like. So these go on the roof, and it actually just locks together.
Wow.
And when that locks together, boom, it's not going nowhere. So there's more benefits we're going to talk about in a little bit. But imagine these shingles, and maybe even if you want to show what it looks like over here, Julie. So you can see it's not just a straight, smooth. Oh, there you go.
I know
gotta
it's
be
hard
right
to
there.
line
There
up
we
with
go.
the
You gotta
thing.
line
I
up.
always
Listen,
have to
Cover
do
me up.
that.
Go ahead.
There it is. So that's what it would look like
Sorry,
actually
Julie.
on the rooftop. And so it mimics a traditional shingle. And also the benefit of that when it comes to snow is it's breaking up that snow so it's not just coming down in one fell swoop. And you don't, sometimes you might still need some sort of snow block, but in most cases you don't need that snow block anymore.
It makes a lot of sense. I've got a friend that lives up north in Kalkaska, and he did a metal roof. And I remember him calling me one day, and he was on the verge of hysteria because he's like, that's what happened. He was underneath there, and in Kalkaska, must have got, I don't know, a couple of feet of snow or something, and he's trying to bring it all down off the roof.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, that's what happened. It came down in this big sheet on him.
Oh, he could,
Yeah.
he's fortunate.
Yes, yeah. So
we
that's really
designed
good to
that,
know.
We designed to make sure that doesn't happen.
Perfect.
But that's the con. Now the pro is that because it's smooth and it heats up, if it's a darker shingle, to heat up a little bit. The aluminum doesn't heat up as much. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But mainly because it's smooth, as soon as it starts to, the sun comes out, it gets a little slick and it comes off. So then what's not happening? Ice damming. So, and we
Okay,
get so
good.
many problems. This last winter was horrible. For ice damming. I can't tell you how many calls I got from people who said, my roof has never leaked. I don't know what's going on. And it's because when that ice damming happens, it actually pushes the water up over flashing.
That makes
And
sense.
it just goes. And so it's something that if it's a terrible winter like we had this last winter, it's almost inevitable. So can it be stopped? Almost in those cases, probably not. So what we do, we can fix it by putting flashing metal up much higher than usual. That's
Okay.
really the only fix for that.
At least you think about it. Like it's good that you factor these things in
Yes.
to your design and to,
We
to
have
the
to in
products.
Michigan, yeah. We have
Yeah,
to
we
consider
really
that.
do. It's
Yep.
incredible. Yeah, go ahead, Julie.
Okay, so you mentioned that metal roofing is more expensive up front, right? And a lot
Correct.
of times, things that are really, really quality and are going to save you money over time, you've got to weigh out how much you're
Right.
going to pay up front and how it's going to save you down the road. You were talking a little bit earlier before we went online that
Yeah.
something about how it can save on both your electric and your heat.
So it's really the overall energy load of the house. It's called your envelope, the home envelope. The aluminum, specifically the aluminum metal shingle, which is the one we had just talked about. This has two major advantages when it comes to energy savings. Number one, there's a paint. It's a proprietary paint that's put on here that has 80% reflectivity, which means that heat from the sun is being reflected off the shingle and not
Nice.
being transferred into the roof, which then transfers to the attic, which then heats everything up and causes your AC bill to go through the roof. No pun intended.
Well, I was going to
And
say,
so-
no, that helps in the summertime.
In the
But
summertime
then what
as
happens
well.
in the wintertime where you'd kind of want that heat to retain there because that would help to melt the snow off, right?
So
Or
you
no?
don't. Well, the snow is coming off because of the smoothness.
Got
That's
it,
coming
okay.
off there, and then you still you don't want a temperature variation. That's the damaging thing in attics. If it's cold, very cold in the attic and hot, then it starts creating condensation, or hot and cold. That variation in temperature is what causes all the issues.
Okay.
So because this is providing, one, that reflectivity, and two, there's what's called a thermal break. So again, if you look at this, there's a space between the shingle itself and the roof. There's an air gap there. That's called a thermal break. So that's what gives it the increased energy benefit.
So does that go over the shingle, or do you
This
take...
is the shingle.
Okay, but what if the house already has a layer of shingles
We
on
take
it?
them off. Yeah, that comes off.
Okay, good,
Yep.
good. So you go right
Yeah,
down
there's
to
an
like the wood?
underlayment. There's
Okay.
underlayment like you would use on any roof, metal
Kinda
or
like that black
asphalt.
tarp kinda
Yep,
sheet
the
stuff?
black. Yep,
Okay.
that's called ice and water.
Okay.
And so that's still there, or synthetic felt, depending on different cases. But then now this goes on top. Normally a shingle will go straight on top of that underlayment. This creates a air gap, which now gives it an insulation factor. That's called a thermal break.
Okay.
And so Oak Ridge National Laboratory has proven that this shingle, this aluminum shingle, reduces the energy consumption in a home by 15% on average.
That's huge.
It's huge. That
That's
can be up
huge.
to $1,000 in savings on a decent sized home every year. And imagine the
Yes.
inflation of energy, how it's going through the roof again.
Yeah.
So this is what we like to tell people is this is the only roof that actually pays you back.
That's a good slogan. That's a very good slogan. Now, does it come in different colors? Because sometimes
does.
people are concerned about, they want to match the aesthetics and all
Yes.
that.
It's
Okay.
paint, so there's a number of different colors that
Oh,
can be
good.
chosen.
It's
yeah.
paint.
Could you ever paint it if it wasn't available in a color you you had available?
Well, the paint it's a special paint.
Okay, got it,
The
got it.
reflectivity is the major benefit
Okay.
when it comes to the energy. That and the like we talked about, that air gap, that thermal break. Those are the two major benefits that cause the just to actually be
Fantastic.
able to pay back over time.
So your turn.
Yeah.
Your company also mentions non-electrical integration. Can you explain how you work with the roofing structure to prepare it for solar panels without compromising the roof's actual integrity?
Absolutely. So the other thing we like to do is solar, roofing and solar. We love solar. Solar is a difficult industry because sometimes it works for a home. Sometimes it makes sense if there's too much shade. You either have to get rid of trees or probably forget about it. If the home isn't orientated the right way, we need a south-facing roof, west or east. South is optimal, but we can do west and east. We can't do north. So imagine moss grows on the north side.
I would
Why?
have never thought about that.
Yep. The sun isn't, so you're not getting that sunlight. It will never make up for it. You can still get some energy out of it, but it's 50% less. So we
it's a
don't do
big
north-facing
difference.
solar, but we can do east, we can do west, and south is optimal. So you have to consider all these things, right? So when I'm going out to look at solar, there's another big thing that comes into play here. There's 3 reasons why people do solar traditionally. The majority. One is a financial benefit, potentially. Number 2 is energy security, which means off-grid.
Okay.
And number 3 is the environmental impact. So I always ask people, oh, I love solar. Oh, that's great. What?
Why?
How would you order those?
Yeah.
Well, people say, well, I want the financial savings. Great, that's amazing. And we all want financial savings. Oh, and I want to be off the grid. Oh, and hold on a
Okay.
second. Those two are in conflict. Why? Because if you want to go off grid, you have to bring batteries into the equation.
Oh, okay.
And once you bring batteries into the equation, you double the cost of that system. Right? So it's still, so you have to decide. So then I ask, well, which one's number one? So if financial is number one, then we have to put the batteries to the side. We can design the system to add the batteries in the future.
Okay.
Right? So that's usually the way we go with someone
that's a
like
good
that. They
idea.
want to be off grid. Well, we can do that when energy prices double, then it's going to make sense to bring those batteries in. Then you can do it. Right now, let's focus on a grid tie system, which means that you connect with the supplier, DTE in this case, or consumers with the utility, right? And they usually do some sort of offset. Right, so now I can get the financial benefit of using the sun to run my home. So instead of a 16 to 20 year payback if we're using batteries, maybe it's an 8 to 10 year payback if we're not using the batteries.
Got it. Okay.
Now I have 15 years of free energy, and the way that energy costs are ballooning, that can pay off 2 to 3 times the investment in that 25 years.
I imagine you probably do a pros and cons and actually maybe even do some kind of a spreadsheet for people to give them an idea.
All of that fun stuff.
Because some people really
Yeah.
want to see the numbers.
You have to see
Yeah,
the numbers.
the engineers in the group
Yeah,
like
oh,
to.
yes.
I mean, even if someone says environmental impact is my number one, they still want to see the numbers, right?
Yes,
so
they
I mean,
do.
everyone wants to see those numbers. They have to at least make sense. If you want to go, I'm off grid. I invested in the batteries, but for me, that was my number one. I wanted to be off grid. I want to have the capability if that grid goes down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can still run off of sunlight. And we also back it up with a generator in case the solar can't keep up in the middle of the winter. You still have another backup. So that was a long-winded answer, but to go back to your question, we have to inspect that roof to make sure that it's not too old. If it's over 10 years old, it doesn't make sense to put brand new panels on a 10-year-old roof that has to be
Then
changed
you
in
would
10
strip
years.
it off,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Then we have to consider that cost now, right? If we're doing a new roof, that's definitely the best time to do, and I think that's one of the
So new
questions.
construction.
Yep, new construction, or you're replacing your roof. Now it's time to consider the solar panels because the lifetime of that solar system is around 25 years. Panels can last a lot longer, but you have inverters, you have other components, and the panels degrade over time. So we like to design them for 25 years.
Okay.
Well, the age of the roof is around 25. So that comes together very nice.
That's true.
So then we don't have to think about taking all the panels off the roof, replacing the roof, putting all the panels back on, which obviously has a cost. So the best time to do it is definitely when you're either a new construction or replacing the roof.
Now, do you work with a lot of builders in the area? I would admit, or do
We
you
work
find?
with some builders, but
Okay.
we mostly do replacement,
Okay.
roof replacements, and then at that time bring in the solar.
Wow. That's so interesting, really.
Oh, another thing that we
ahead.
last question,
Oh, yes.
last answer to that. If we're looking at a roof, we want to make sure one that the shingles are not too old, but two that the decking underneath is not too old. As long as everything is good, then we can install. And this is the rail system that's used. The beautiful thing in the past, we had these big, clumsy flashings that would have to go underneath every shingle. It took forever to install each one of these, and there might be 40, 50 of these on a solar system. Now, this actually just goes right on top of the shingle. You pull this off, place it. It has a chemical bond that creates with heat, and then we put screws right in here, and that goes down into the truss. And at that point, the rail system is in place. It takes literally 2 minutes to put these on, where in the past it maybe took 15 minutes for
That's
each
a
one of
great
these.
reduction in time,
It's
which means
amazing.
expense because you're paying
Yes.
your workers probably by the hour, and that's built into your quote and your estimates.
That's right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Whoever invented that.
Iron Ridge. gotta give them props. They did a great job.
Now, I know that a lot of times when we're all trying to be eco-friendly and all that, but there's different rebates and things. I know they were doing that for a while with like furnaces and that. Is that something that they do now with solar or anything? Are there any type of rebates and incentives from, I don't know, government, whether it's state or local or even federal?
That's a great question. The federal rebate went away. It was actually called a tax credit, and it was a big one. It was 30%. That went away at the end of last year.
Wow. Okay.
But what we're seeing, the industry is adjusting. There's
I
the
would think
law.
they're going to do something else, I would think.
Well, the industry is actually adjusting because of the law of supply and demand. There's less demand, so the cost of the materials are actually going down. Everywhere else you see costs going up, manufacturers are being forced to reduce their price. Not only that, labor is being forced to reduce the price. So the overall cost of a system is coming down. At the same time, we're seeing energy prices go up significantly, right? So it's that situation where, yeah, right now it's still a tough sell, especially in Michigan. It's viable if you're looking at a 25-year timeline. A lot of people aren't looking at 25 years.
Right.
So it's still a tough sell, but imagine 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now with energy costs, that's going to, at some point, it's going to make logical sense. It might be a 5-year payback or a 3-year payback. At that point, it's not going to matter. We're not going to need any kind of rebate, tax credit, incentives from governments or state or cities.
I think
So
a lot of
that's the
times they
trend.
do that just to get people more comfortable with the newest and latest and the greatest technology that
Yep.
there's been so much money invested in to develop.
Right.
And then hopefully you get past that curve and more people are comfortable with it and have that need. So
right.
that'll be interesting to see 5-10 years from now.
Yeah, I think the trend was it got the ball rolling, and it worked. And so now we're in a kind of a space between the two worlds, right? So no man's land, but the companies that make it through that are going to benefit in a big way when it does make more sense. And it's still, like I said, it does make sense financially for people who have a long-term vision, and if it makes sense on their home. So those two have to come together.
Well, yeah, I think you always have your old school standard way of people where they're used to doing it. Then you've got the new latest and the greatest, and you've got to get those people moved over little by little. But
Right.
it takes time and the right circumstances.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It sounds like it's keeping up with technology in that sense that, it's not just an idea, oh, it'd be great if we had solar, but to actually be able to figure out the science of it and then to keep improving the efficiency of it, it sounds
Yes.
like.
Yeah, there's been amazing improvements in efficiency. I'll give a real life example. I installed a solar system in 2010. At the time, it was the largest residential solar system in Michigan, and it was 8.8 kilowatts. Now that's like whatever. But that same customer came back to me last year, so 15 years, and the inverter had gone out, which is about the lifetime of the inverter.
Okay.
So we went in to change the inverter, and the inverter changes the energy from direct current to alternating current. That's what an inverter does.
Okay.
Your home uses alternating current. This office,
I'm looking at Sue like I have
Yeah.
no idea what that
this office uses alternating current, so it's a different type of electricity. The inverter changes it so that so the home or the office can actually use the electricity coming off the solar panel.
Okay.
So that's a critical piece of the
It
system.
is. Yeah. It doesn't just
right?
happen.
No, it's not just
Yeah.
magic.
I
It's
always
kinda
wonder,
magic, but-
okay, it's grabbing
Yeah.
all the sunlight and it's converting it to something, but how does it do that and how is it
Right.
stored?
So
Yeah.
essentially the solar panels taking photons, which are light energy,
Yeah.
and transforming it into electrical current. That electrical current comes off in a certain way. It's called direct current,
Yeah.
which is very dangerous because if you heard of people grabbing electric and then being stuck
right,
on
right,
it,
and yeah, don't.
that's because it's direct current. AC is alternating current. Homes and offices and buildings run off of AC because it doesn't have that same danger. You might get that DC current coming off the solar panel turns it into AC, so the home can use it. So anyway, we were changing the inverter, and we got in there, and the customer said, my only regret with the system is that I didn't upsize it. It was too small because he had a big house. And then he's like, well, why don't you just look at maybe upgrading the panels as well? And so we were able to actually downsize the actual the footprint of that system
Yeah.
by about 20 or 30%. And we got 2.5 times more power out of it. So the actual efficiency, so right there you see the efficiency in the panels went up by like 3x, 300% in the last 15 years. And that's only continuing.
It's kind of a good thing, really, that that there was a need to go in there after those
That was
years.
a great thing.
That was
He was happy. That was a win-win because the customer was happy. We were happy. We got to do a great system. So yeah.
Well, it kind of reminds me like the old school computers. Remember they used to talk about years and years ago? They took
Yeah.
up a whole
It is.
room, or you had the
Yep.
big desktop
Yes.
one, and then
Yes.
it went to flat screens. But they became, it's crazy how it can get smaller, but yet be so much more powerful, and it's all because of the technology.
That's right. It keeps improving.
Fantastic.
We're pretty. It's pretty good though in Michigan. I think people are concerned about like just environment and things like that too, right?
Absolutely.
So like your materials, like what is it made out? Like it's metal. It's
Yeah.
aluminum.
So this is actually 95% recycled.
Oh, that's good
which
to know
is-
too for
I
the
didn't even
people
mention that
are.
earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's an incredible benefit, right? Asphalt shingles are tough because there are programs to recycle them. It's hard, very difficult to do.
Well, like you said, it doesn't rust, and
And
that's
it
why we
doesn't
think
rust.
metal, steel rusts, and
Yes.
it's aluminum.
Correct. And then, so the aluminum, that's why this is a 100-year system.
100
This is
years.
This is a lifetime roof system.
Okay, now lifetime because it's tied to the roof, or is it tied to the person that bought it?
Lifetime because most of us don't live past 100 years.
That's true too.
So it's truly, I mean, people say a 50-year roof is a lifetime. Well, technically.
Yeah, not
But is
really.
the
This is
warranty
true.
then? Is it?
Yeah, it's a
So if the
lifetime-
person sells the house, it still stays with
Transfer,
the house.
yes.
That's a huge, huge selling advantage
Yeah,
then.
absolutely.
And people probably don't even think about that.
No, because you don't think about your roof like
No.
today, like right here, right
Right.
now. I'm like, for the first time, I'm like, this is so interesting, and I don't know,
Well, look
it
at the high
just
winds
is.
we've had recently.
Yeah, this was a
Yes.
bad winter, I think, for Michigan, right? It was a
It was
bad
very
winter.
rough. Yeah, more people are thinking about the roofs this year than
Yeah.
usual. Yep.
It also got really cold, right?
Yes. And
Got
that,
really cold. So, like, for the period of time that, like, when do you guys start doing roofs and then end? Like, what kind of months?
Yeah, is there a
So,
seasonality to it?
there's a huge seasonality, and there's actually 2 seasons, ironically, in roofing. There's winter, obviously, which for us is December, January, February, so 3 months.
You were
In
actually
March-
out there putting on roofs in December, January, and February?
No, that's when we're down.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
If it's over 40 degrees, we'll put a roof on. I don't like to do it if the weather's under 40. Metal roofs can go on under 40. Asphalt's not a good idea. So we steer away from that. But there's another season, which is in the middle of the summer. It's not raining a lot. It's beautiful out. People are on vacation. The last thing people want to think about is changing the roof in August, in July. So traditionally we see a dip in
Okay.
July and August, and then what happens in September? Everyone's freaking out because they need their roof done before winter. So we have a mad rush September, October, November. That's the traditional
So interesting.
seasonality of the roofing industry.
Yeah, because I would feel sorry for those poor guys in the summertime that they're up there on those roofs and they're just
they're-
sweating to death. Oh my gosh.
Amazing. I have so much respect for our roofers.
A lot of hard work. A lot of hard
It's
work.
incredible. Yep.
So they
They
have
start at 5 in the
drone-
morning in the summer.
Oh my God,
Get
yeah.
done by-
Sometimes you have to beat the
Yep.
heat, be up there
You
that
have to.
early. That you offer drone assisted inspections. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so drone, there's a few benefits, 2 major benefits to that. There's probably more, but 2 major ones. One is safety.
Yeah.
Right? There's some roofs.
Right, because now you're not climbing up there.
Yeah, some, I mean, some are easy breezy. Some you do not want to go up and you're like sweating getting up there,
Well, then who designed
So-
some of them at such a high, what do they call that? Not elevation.
pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pitch. I like
Architects designed that.
Architects.
Yes, architects
they're not
have
going up on the
decided-
roof.
Right, they're not going. They don't care.
They're not the ones who are.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, so to avoid that, if it's a 2-3 story and you got a steep pitch, you're like, let's send the drone up. And then the other big reason is thermal scans. So now drones have the capacity to do a thermal scan of the whole roof, and we can see leaks. We can see, we can inspect solar panel installations. So imagine those wires heat
Yeah.
up. If there's an issue in the panels, we can find exactly which panel has the issue by doing a thermal scan with a drone.
I would have never thought
Yeah.
about. He says thermal scan. I started thinking about when they're missing kids and they fly over and they're trying to find the
Right.
warm,
Yep.
the heat
Heat
when they're coming
signature.
up. I
Yeah,
guess I
yeah.
never
Yeah.
thought about it that way, but that makes perfect sense.
So we use it. It really helps in the commercial space because we can go up over a large building and scan the entire. It actually just runs a program, goes back and forth for about 20 minutes, and then it creates a 3D model and it shows all the weak spots in the roof.
Do you also use Google Earth, or because
Use
you
Google
don't
Earth.
necessarily because nowadays you don't necessarily go up and actually measure. I know companies that have used Google Earth and they try to pull the dimensions or the layoff
Yeah.
off of that. I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, but it probably gives a good basis.
Google Earth has been very helpful. It's really helpful in simple roofs. We call them up and over, like if it's a square, a rectangle. I can just go with Google Earth and measure it out. Someone can ask, "Hey, what's the ballpark?" I can give them that over the phone in 2
Nice.
minutes. Now, if it's what we call cut up, that means there's lots of facets on the roof, lots of angles,
Those darn
steep
architects again.
pitches. Those architects, you can't get that from Google Earth. So we use different companies that use satellite imagery and complex algorithms and science, and they're able to do their magic and give us a beautiful report that shows us all the information we need.
I'm just thinking about the image of the thermal scan because I
Yeah.
think that would look so darn cool
I'll show
for
it to you. I'll
somebody,
send it to you. It's really
somebody
cool.
to actually see that and realize how much the roof is actually losing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not going to be visible at all.
Otherwise, no, there's no way to tell.
That's right.
Remember they used to talk about taking a candle around your windows, and if the like it blew out or something, you knew there were drafts.
Yeah.
The way
this is- yeah.
come on, you've done
Look at
this.
us
haven't you?
now. Look at
This
us
is the
now.
new school version of that. Right. Yeah. You can see where there's a leak. You can pinpoint things with super accuracy with those. The technology is actually incredible.
Now you talked about like your tagline, "Built with Purpose." So, how does that translate to, how you work with your employees and how do you work with your clients and stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
explain. Well, how'd you come up with that tagline?
That tagline came out of a wonderful brainstorm with my amazing partners, the Asbury brothers, a very good friend, Austin Lee. When we first started Asbury, it was roofing and siding in Ohio.
Okay.
So that branch, the parent branch, started 4 years ago.
Okay.
And we were just going through different ideas. What we needed a tagline. And Built with Purpose came out, and we've stuck with that ever since. Had the opportunity to start the branch here in Michigan a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And it was a little tweak from siding to solar. And so we just stuck with that same slogan, and it really has to do with everything we're doing has the customer in mind. So we're customer focused, and at the same time, it's really all about our entire ecosystem, like everybody that we touch, the suppliers, the installers, all of our service technicians, everyone that we come in contact with, we want to treat them like we want to be treated. Yeah. So it's really we're a faith-based company, so we
I
want
love
to express
that.
that to people, and we don't want to just talk it, we want to walk it.
Nice.
It's construction, things happen. We do our best to keep our cool, to treat people right in those situations. We're not perfect by no means, but the idea is to be purposeful about that, about doing things with keeping other person's needs in mind, treating them well, and that transfers. Like customers feel that they know if it's real or not. I think people can sense that.
Yeah.
And so we do our best to make it authentic and really care about our customers and treat them well. That's the idea.
It's wonderful to hear. Yeah. Well, it's been such a pleasure talking with you and meeting you. and
Great.
very.
I learned a lot of things I would have never known.
My goodness, yeah.
You didn't know how exciting roofing could be?
Drones, and we've got thermal imaging. Oh my gosh!
I know. I'm like freaking out about the thermal because it's so interesting.
Well, I
It
just
is.
love how the technology has advanced so much.
Yes.
Oh, it's wild.
So much.
We didn't even talk about AI. I mean, it's coming into roofing too, so it's all over the
How are
place.
you using AI with roofing?
Well, there's I think it's infiltrated into every aspect of our world. now,
Yeah, it really
right?
is.
But a lot of it is in the marketing side, on the front end. A lot of like getting to leads, finding, and then also just being able to answer questions adequately to with people.
Right.
It's for us. We're finding again built with purpose, being intentional about using the tool the right way, not going too far with it, because I think that's a temptation too. And so really, but using it to be better. I think that's ultimately the goal with the AI. And there are plenty of tools in the roofing space now.
It overwhelming.
It can be
It
overwhelming.
can be
yeah.
overwhelming.
Yeah. It
Wow.
definitely can
Well,
be.
thank you for bringing this nice gentleman with his incredible. Thank you for bringing props. So
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Had to have fun.
It's just I've never like touched a shingle.
Definitely not not very many people have touched an aluminum shingle. Let me tell you, this is it.
Get
This
this
is
nice
where it's at. Yeah, just don't be cut. Yeah,
I
careful.
can't believe that.
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you, Julie. What a pleasure.
you,
Thank you for
guys.
bringing him to meet with us, and it's been wonderful talking with you. And if you would like to come back, actually, we would
Yeah.
like to invite you to come back. And
That'd be
it's just such a
awesome.
pleasure to talk with you and to learn, exactly what is available to people. It actually puts the power back in the people. Like,
Yeah.
I want these things, and then you can okay, let's plan it out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I
And
would love to
so-
come back. Thank you.
Asbury,
Roofing,
Roofing and Solar,
Got
and
it.
you're in downtown Rochester.
That's right.
So glad. That's
And they'll
amazing.
actually be at our show. They're going to be at the
Oh, they're
Tri
gonna
Community
be
Love
at our
Family Trade Show.
Yes,
I'm
we
really
will.
excited about that too.
We're looking forward to that.
Yes.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Yeah, so please come back, all right?
Thank you. I will.
Thank you. I'll talk soon. I'm going to put this on.